Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss some more topic from chapter 7, System of Particles and Rotational Motion. The topic which we are going to discuss today is your relation between torque and angular momentum. So torque and angular momentum already we have discussed in our previous class. Now angular momentum is your cross product of r vector cross p vector. R vector is your position vector and p vector is your momentum, linear momentum. Now what we will do here, we will differentiate with respect to time. So dl dt. So we are going to use the product rule of differentiation. So r vector keeping constant, let we differentiate momentum, that is dp dt, r vector cross dp dt plus, and second time keeping p vector constant, let we differentiate r vector, that is dr dt. Now next step, r vector cross dp dt. So dr dt is your velocity, so v vector, and linear momentum is your mass into velocity, so mv vector. Now cross product of two similar quantity is your 0, because the angle between the two vector is your 0 degree. So sine 0 degree is your 0, so that's why the second term goes off. And f vector is your dp dt, that is your rate of change of momentum. This is from Newton's second law. So you are getting dl dt equal to r vector cross f vector. Now torque is your r vector cross f vector, so you can write dl dt is your tau vector. Now if tau equal to 0, it means if no torque is applied, then dl dt is your 0. It means L is constant, because differentiation of any constant is your 0. So it means if no torque is applied on a system, then the angular momentum remain constant. So that is we have written, if no torque is applied, then angular momentum remain constant. This gives you the conservation of angular momentum. So I think you have understood. This is only the simple differentiation using the product rule. And this topic is important. Sometimes it is used to come that dl dt equal to r vector cross f vector, or sometimes it says tau equal to dl dt. So in this way you have to do. Now next topic which we are going to discuss is your couple. Now let me define. A couple is defined as the pair of two equal and unlike parallel forces acting on a body along two different lines of action. So if you consider this diagram, two parallel forces F vector of same magnitude is acting but in opposite direction, and they don't have same line of action, rather it is different line of action. So a couple is defined as a pair of two equal and unlike parallel forces acting on a body along two different line of action. Now we are not supposed to specify, because already we have defined the cross product direction can be defined by Cork rule or screw rule, you can say. So that part we are going to use it here in defining moment of couple. So the moment of couple about any point can be defined by taking the moments of forces about that point and then adding them. So moment of force is nothing but is your torque. So if you have to define moment of couple, what you have to do, you have to consider a specific point about which you have to define the moment. So let me consider O is your fixed point, and at two different points A and B, two forces X of equal magnitude but oppositely directed. So if you have to define torque considering, or moment of force F which acts at A, then you have to define OA cross F vector. So if you use screw rule, it is in anti-clockwise. And if you consider F vector by considering the moment with respect to O, considering the distance OB, then R cross F, so it is in clockwise direction. So that net torque is nothing but the sum, because the direction is continuous, is not it. So that's why the two moment of force gets added. So tau equal to F OB, which is in clockwise direction, plus tau equal to F OA, which is again clockwise direction. So that's why it is added up. So as per the definition, the moment of couple about any point can be found by taking the moments of forces about that point and then adding them. So FOB plus FOA, so F takes common OB plus OA, so that is nothing but is your AB. So tau equal to FAB. This is your moment of couple. Now next topic is important, that is principle of moments. So what it says that if a body is in rotational equilibrium under the action of a number of forces, then the sum of clockwise moments is equal to the sum of anti-clockwise moments. Let me repeat once again. If a body is in rotational equilibrium under the action of a number of forces, then the sum of clockwise moment is equal to the sum of anti-clockwise moment. So if you consider this diagram, suppose PQ is a solid rod and it is supported at O by considering a supporter, and two forces F1 and F2 X at point P and Q. So you see, if you consider the translational equilibrium, then the sum of F1 plus F2 is equal to the resultant force which acts at O in opposite direction. That is your translational equilibrium. But if you consider the rotational equilibrium, in rotational equilibrium basically the moment of force about O, that is if you consider D1 and F1, then it gives you the anti-clockwise direction. So in equilibrium, anti-clockwise moments is equal to the, if you consider OQ F2, then it is in clockwise. So as per the principle of moment, if a body is in rotational equilibrium under the action of a number of forces, then the sum of clockwise moment is equal to the sum of anti-clockwise moment. So equilibrium means the forces are there, or the torques are there, or the moment of couple is there, but there is no disturbance. That is in equilibrium. So anti-clockwise moment should be equal to the clockwise moment. So F1 D1 equal to F2 D2. So F1 by F2 equal to D2 by D1. So F1 by F2 basically known as mechanical advantage. It's symbolized at M dot A. So mechanical advantage is nothing but is your F1 by F2, and that is nothing but is your D2 by D1. So if F1 is more, then D1 will be less. Okay. If force is more, then the distance reduces to maintain the system is in equilibrium. So this is very important point. So in equilibrium, you do have two kinds of equilibrium, basically translational equilibrium and rotational equilibrium. In translational equilibrium, the translational motion is zero due to the application of the forces, sum of the forces, such that there is no translational motion. And in rotational equilibrium, torques are there, but there is no rotation. So please go through this topic and try to find out your doubts. It's very simple, but you have to go through this topic repeatedly to make the things clear. So this is all about. Please check it out and put your doubts. And if you have any doubts, please put it so that I can sort it out. So this is all about. Thank you.